From the second we're born, movement literally shapes our lives. Just imagine a newborn baby instinctively swinging their arms and kicking their legs, or that precious moment when a baby reaches out to grab onto your pinky. Or my personal favorite is when a kid doesn't quite understand what a beard is yet, and he kind of just stares at me, puzzled, as he slowly reaches out to grab onto it. This is how we interact with the world around us. We're born with this innate sense of curiosity and creativity that's deeply embedded into our physical experience. As kids, we run, we climb, we crawl, we ask questions, we ask more questions, we play. Albert Einstein once said that play is the highest form of research, but somewhere along the way, we stop researching. Somewhere along the way, we replace this form of research with the correct answer, with facts and figures. And because of socialization or formal education, or even traumatic events in our lives, we stop playing. And what naturally tends to happen is that if we stifle these impulses to play, we start to exaggerate the importance of the headquarters. And as a result, we downplay the human body. So we start to live carrying our lives from the neck up. So we have this mind-body split, where we place matters of the mind over here, right? Precious, precious mind. And we place matters of the body kind of over there. And what's exciting is that we're starting to see more and more research that contradicts this mind-body split. Research in embodied cognition is this idea that the mind is not only connected to the body, but that the body actually influences our mind. The body influences our ideas, our thought processes, and the decisions we make. Neuroscientists now claim that the only reason we have a brain is to produce adaptable and complex movement. That is, to move us through our environment. But what happens when our environment no longer needs us to move? What happens when we no longer have an urgent necessity to use our bodies to get things done? We no longer have animals to hunt, food to gather, or predators chasing us anymore. Nowadays, we can pretty much consume and acquire everything with a click of a button. Everything we do is done sitting. By the time we reach high school, we've sat for about 15,000 hours. By the time we reach retirement, that number increases to 60,000. 60,000 hours. Our bodies aren't designed to sit. We're designed to move. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally can't sit for a prolonged period of time. And I never have been able to as a kid. And the thing is, we don't appreciate that we think with our mind and our body. And movement helps bridge that gap. Movement helps bridge that gap. How many of us have had the experience where we're trying to tackle a problem that we just can't seem to solve? And we're like, I'm gonna sit down until I get this done, only to realize that a quick step away from the problem, or going for a walk, or even a quick run, allows our fluid thoughts to come through. I see a lot of nods, right? So I like to say that movement is the best food for thought. So what is it that I talk about when I talk about movement? In this conversation I have with a lot of people, people tend to think that movement is exercise and fitness. Exercise is something we, or some of us, right, reluctantly do at a specific place at a specific time. Movement is so much bigger than that. This may sound counterintuitive, but exercise is optional. In the long run, exercise is optional. What we need is more movement in our lives. This isn't about becoming more fit. What this is about is being able to fit more movement into our lives. This is about reconnecting with our bodies and reconnecting with that innate sense of curiosity and creativity that we had as little kids. So we have to really shift the way we think about movement and how it affects the work around us and the people we do the work that we do and the people around us. And, and so, 2 years ago, I was working in finance, and I dreaded it. And the two things that I learned are that the combination of apathy and sedentary living just isn't sustainable. I learned, for me personally, that the opposite of play isn't work, it's depression. And if I would have stayed on that road, doing what I was doing, kind of just going through the motion, that's exactly where it would have left me. And so I had a choice. Stay in Midtown Manhattan, work on my fancy computer with all the trappings of success. But truth is, I felt tired, uninspired, and disconnected. And so I knew I had to change. There had to be some sort of change. And so I started to run, climb, crawl, play, ask questions, ask even more questions. The type of questions that most people don't want to ask, right? Like, what am I doing with my life? And who am I? And so I knew I had to make the move. And today, as a movement coach, I can truly say that I wake up excited to work with people and change their lives and live with a sense of purpose. And the thing is, we all have a choice. We can either continue living our lives with that sense of apathy, just going through the motion, feeling tired and uninspired, or we can make a move and live with a little more inspiration and feeling a little more invigorated. The choice is really up to us. Thank you.